This is the MagicWordPodcast.com.
Day 3 has begun, and we are kicking off with breakfast at the usual place where everybody congregates. And we got here early, so we got here before the line really formed, but they caught up to us pretty quick. There are a lot of people here now, as you can hear in the background. Well, we got a lot of things that are going on right now, and I finished off last evening talking about the wonderful evening show, and then I had the close-up show, which was phenomenal and something completely different. And I'm not going to talk about it now, but we'll talk about it later. The reason being is there are some people who have not seen some of these activities, and I don't want, Stan said not to report nor spoil this because people are seeing them at different times, and if they're listening to this, they might say, oh my gosh, I didn't know that so-and-so or this was going to be happening. But anyhow, suffice it to say, you do not want to miss the close-up show. It's unlike anything that I have seen them attempt here before. The set is beautiful, the background, anyhow, and the show and the performers are next to none. And so, on the other hand, there was another experience that my friend here this morning is going to not talk about. But we're going to talk a little bit about this convention. Matt Alexander. Hey there, Matt.
Hello, Scott. Good to see you.
Good seeing you as well. So you went to, what was it called, the ETC?
The ETC, the Experimental Theater Company, which was kind of a collaboration with the Academy of Magical Arts, it's my understanding. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. It was each performer did something very different, not only from one another, but was unlike anything I'd seen, with one exception.
Okay.
It was an entertaining evening, and I'm very curious, after you've had a chance to see it, to catch up with you and share thoughts.
Some of you listeners might recall a while back that Stan had talked about this particular thing, and he was calling for people to submit different ideas that he would consider for Magic Live in doing. So that's why that I'm anxious to see who it was that made the cut on this. But the idea is to really, when we say think outside the box, then quite literally of what kind of presentation might be different. And so they're experimental from the standpoint that they may not even be fleshed out ideas. They are an act in flux, I guess, right now.
It was presented as these were things that were developed for that evening. It's not somebody's normal routine.
Correct.
And some of the concepts were very unusual. It was really interesting to see the execution. And I think I'm looking forward to hearing other people's opinions on it.
Well, it's supposed to stimulate thought. In other words, you would watch this and say, well, that's kind of weird, that's strange, but I wonder if I could use that idea or that concept or method or something perhaps in what I'm already doing to take this to a different level, or you might be able to expand on that idea. So I'm anxious to see this also, to see what, and talk with others to kind of see where they take it, because next year this could be just a regular thing of everybody coming and giving different ideas.
Yeah, I think it was a great first step, and I think it's certainly something that I could see building in the future, and really some incredibly inventive performances, and I enjoyed the experience.
Okay, well, there you go. Then we got a lot more things that are going to be happening here today, and we've got, you've got the same colored lanyard, so you've got this morning we've got the general session we're going to be going to here at 10 o'clock. And then this afternoon will be a focus session on Bruce Servan. That'll be by Bill Goodwin, and Secrets Behind the Bar with Mike Pashada, and he's the bar magician at the Magic Castle.
He is.
Have you seen him perform?
I have seen him perform a ton of times. Mike is one of my favorite performers at the castle. I almost always make the effort to go down and see him if I'm there on a night where he's working. And super smart guy, great material, incredibly talented. I think the world of him as a magician, and really nice guy as well. So I'm looking forward to that.
I had him on a lecture tour a few years ago, and he really was a hit. Everybody loved him also.
Yeah, he's great, and his lectures are great as well. So I'm excited to see that. And
now, these are abbreviated lectures, by the way, that we're seeing, so it's really not a full lecture.
Yep. Yep.
And then also we have then following that will be the Act First, Think Later. That's by Drew Beckerstows?
Beckentoss, it looks like.
Beckentoss.
I'm not familiar with Drew, but I'm torn because obviously you only get to do 2 of the 3.
Right.
And so Bill Goodwin is another favorite of mine. I always enjoy chats with him at the castle. He's got just great material and historical knowledge, and I really think I'm probably going to end up seeing Bill and Mike, but I always like to also experience things that I don't know. So
exactly.
I happen to have the lucky opportunity to see both Mike and Bill frequently, so we'll see how it ends up, but I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to end up at those 2.
And then other things that are happening tonight will be some of the repeat things like the close-up experience, and I think tonight's when I have the experimental theater concept, but also between 6 and 11 will be Chip Romero is going to have his Doug Henning World of Magic exhibit, and he has brought almost literally a ton of stuff from Lake Charles, from his exhibit, from his private collection, to show on a one-time basis here. And there are other surprises that I can't talk about yet that I know he's going to be having. And I know the level of detail that Chip puts into his effort, and this is going to be nothing short of memorable. I mean, it's going to be fantastic.
Well, I'm definitely excited to see that. My wife and I both have very fond memories of being kids and seeing Doug on TV and sort of our introduction to magic on television. So unfortunately, in our region, we didn't actually get to see Mark Wilson in those days. Nope.
Okay.
So I was familiar with the name, but didn't have firsthand experience with the magic land of Alakazam. So some of my earliest magic on TV memories are Doug Henning, and then on to David, and where we are now eventually.
That's right. Yeah. We still have, I was going to say Chris Angel, but he doesn't have the Mind Freak on anymore, but that was popular then for a long time. And the thing really now, I guess, is Penn and Teller and Masters of Illusion as far as the U.S. goes.
Correct.
I'm not sure what they've got in the U.K. that's on a regular basis, but or in Australia or some other countries. But that certainly is something that is an ongoing thing that encourages people to appreciate magic. Plus, America's Got Talent. We have a lot of magicians on that, too. Speaking of that, have you seen any of the shows like Matt Franco here in town? Or
not this time. I've seen several in the past. So Matt's got a great show. I've seen Piff, David. So your friend Banachek is on my to-do list. I haven't caught him.
Well, he's not here now. But he's been working in Branson.
Oh, has he? Okay,
Yeah.
I missed that he'd left the Stratosphere. So
my other buddy Colin Cloud is working here, and I understand he's killing it. Since he split with Shin Lim.
I really I like his material. I really enjoyed his part of the show last night. I thought that was really clever, doing the lighting cues and the asides, and it was a lot of fun.
And I talked with someone who saw that show, I think Friday or Saturday before the convention began. I said, does he do this as part of the show? Because I've not seen his new show. And they said, yes, that's, very much included in there.
Fabulous.
So, he's really a good performer.
He
for
is.
Sure. Well, looking forward to the next, not only today, but then tomorrow. This is just whipping through a couple of days pretty quickly after Sunday night party and opening of the dealer's room that was packed. And you didn't happen to win anything, did you?
I didn't win anything. I haven't yet, but one day, maybe.
Well, keep buying.
I shall.
And what I mean by that is that on Sunday night, that whatever you buy, I think for every $25, they give you a ticket. You put your name on that, and then they have some drawing of winning gift certificates from different dealers and everything. So.
Yeah, quite impressive prizes in the past. So
there have been thousands and thousands of dollars that you can win.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, as always, thanks again. Good joining you for me joining you. Let me for breakfast here, and also for giving us a kind of an update. What's going on? Look forward to seeing you.
It's good to see you, Scott. Thanks.
So the Magic Word Podcast. I was Matt Alexander. Scotty out. We're now getting in, we're standing in line waiting for the 10 o'clock show, and we're in plenty of time because it's 9:14 and there are already about 150 people, it seems like, in line here. And it just gets bigger because everybody wants to squeeze in, although you don't have to squeeze too much. It's a pretty good-sized theater inside. Speaking of theaters, I'm with a couple of guys right now who have their own theater show down in Sarasota?
St. Petersburg.
I had the S right. Ryan and Chris Zubrick. Ryan, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Scott.
Good to see you guys here. And you have been here, did you come early to see any shows or just come straight for the convention?
Let's see, we flew in on Sunday, got in about 8 in the morning, and went and visited some of our old dancers from our show overseas in Guam and had brunch with them. Then we went to see Chris Angel at 7 o'clock and David Copperfield at 9:30. So
wow, you really squeezed in a bunch of stuff.
It was 24 hours, I think we were awake that day.
Holy moly, brother. And how did you feel about that? I mean, Ryan, were you tired at the end of the day?
We were definitely tired. We had 2 of our own shows on Saturday, and then slept a few hours in Florida and then hopped on the plane. So we've just been go, go, go. But we're kind of well-rested now and feeling better.
And you're going to be heading back on Thursday, right? Because you got shows Thursday night.
Correct, yes.
Yeah, it's kind of like with the Ray Anderson. I know, like, he's got Esther's Follies. And so, like, guys like you, this is a great convention because it's during the weekdays as opposed to weekends like all the other conventions.
Yeah, we couldn't
This
have
really
said
is more
otherwise.
for the professionals, I think. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. No, we're happy to be here. It's great to meet all of our friends that we haven't seen in a year, and it's like a reunion.
It is a reunion. So what number is this? How many of you have been coming to this?
This is only our 4th, I believe.
Yeah, 4th year.
Okay. And who's watching? Patrick?
Oliver. Yes, Oliver is on a fishing trip with Grandpa in New Jersey right now.
How fun.
He absolutely loves fishing.
He's 8?
He is 8, just turned 8 years old, and we get back Friday, and he gets back Saturday, and then school starts on Monday. So,
wow, it's going to be a whirlwind for him too. Yeah,
it is.
Just getting back some fun, and then starting to work right away when he gets right back.
That's right.
What have you seen or enjoyed the most, or maybe bought something at the dealer so far here, Brian? What have you? Yeah,
I enjoyed seeing Rick Merrill yesterday during the general session, and his kind of like inner monologue, comedy routine about what he thinks about as he's doing his routine. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
Highlight for me was the juggler plate spinner last night. He was fantastic. French guy, I believe he is. It was a lot of fun. He had a lot of energy, and I enjoyed his act.
I have never seen anybody juggle and solve a Rubik's Cube as they're juggling. That was just crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see. The experimental theater had some neat concepts in it.
Don't tell me. I've got that
you
to
have
see
yet
tonight.
to see it?
I heard it was different.
It was very different, yeah.
It's very experiential. Yeah.
So did it give you some ideas for concepts for your own show, or maybe something to change or put in?
That's a good question. I think not necessarily.
Okay.
It's something different. It's something very different. I guarantee you haven't seen anything like it or experienced something like that.
I had Stan on the podcast a while back anticipating, this show and saying he was soliciting people's ideas for concepts. They don't have to be fleshed out, but just kind of what's an idea. And it was, I think, intended to inspire guys like you to say, hey, we're already doing Cuba Libre. Maybe if we did round instead of square, I don't know, whatever, that they've got some sort of make new directions for your thinking. It's kind of what I think he was wanting to go with this.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, you're going to experience things that you haven't experienced or seen magic in a different way. I can't say too much because it'll give away.
No. Yeah. Well, likewise, I assume you haven't seen the professional close-up show.
We have not.
I saw that last night, so I can't tell you about that either. Except
that's
it's
tonight.
Great, it's wonderful. Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. David Kay, as I was going in, said, "Have you seen it yet?" And I said, "No, I'm waiting in line." He said, "Best effing close-up show I've ever seen."
Wow.
Anything in the dealer's room that piqued your interest?
No.
Did you see the ring on wine glass stem?
No, but it was at FISM, I believe, and Mark D'Souza bought one. It's pretty amazing.
It looks amazing. Yeah,
You should get one.
Chris wanted
It's
one.
expensive.
And I was like, we'll get it after lunch or whatever, and then they sold out like halfway through the first day.
It's gone.
See, that's why I said
He's
that's
mad
what,
at me that
yeah,
we
there
had
are
to
only
wait.
so few of them. Is when you see something, that's the thing about the
jump
things
on
like
it.
this. Jump on it. Likewise, there was a trick at FISM called Vacuum that sold out first day. It's kind of like Zone Zero, Jerry Anderson's
Right.
with a jumbo card, and then the hole seals up. And it's a pretty cool trick if you go and watch the video of it. And James Demare had contacted me before and said, hey, check this out, see if it looks like something I could do in my show. And by the time I got there, it's like, we're gone. I mean, they were sold out. And likewise, I know that is a great trick. It's not inexpensive. It was something that kind of, you want to step back for a minute and say, oh, wait a minute, do I want to buy this or I want to buy a car?
Well, being an illusionist, it's easy to drop
yes.
some money on these.
But the kind of show that you guys do is an intimate theater, and that goes back to what I was saying to begin with about that you guys are theater owners and performers in an intimate setting because it's what, a 70-seat theater?
93.
93, okay. Off by 23.
Close.
Yeah, but my point is everybody can see because of how it's positioned. It's not steep.
Right, it's only 4 rows deep, so we can do close-up magic, but
Exactly.
we also do some of the grand illusions as well.
Yeah. And you got any plans for doing, I assume, again this year, like a Christmas themed thing and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our Holiday Spectacular, which starts on November 13th. It runs to the end of the year. It's one of our favorite shows to do. The show changes about 75% from our regular season of shows.
Yeah.
And we have a jolly guest who appears on stage.
Won't be me. I'll be working Neiman Marcus during December.
Oh, wonderful.
That's why I'm letting my beard grow out in my hair and my belly. That's my excuse for why I'm eating so much and drinking so
Well, you
much.
look great, Scott.
Why, thank you. So anyhow, if people want to get tickets for your show, not just for that, but regularly, where do they go?
Our website, zubrickmagic.com.
ZubrickMagic.com.
Also, you can follow us on all of our social media platforms at Zubrick Magic as well.
And well, you should. You can find out where all these guys are going, what they're doing, and more about their show on all of their socials. So we're getting ready to head in here shortly and watch another great show. We'll talk to you guys a little bit later. Awful good catching up with you.
Thank you, Scott.
Magic Word Podcast. That was Ryan and Chris Zubrick. Scotty out. I just finished the morning session, and one of the things was Chip Romero, who was talking about his exhibit that he's going to be showing later this evening of his part of his collection from the Doug Henning collection. I've been over to Chip's house so many times and seen his collection grow and grow. And when he's brought that to different conventions, it's been amazing, the kind of stuff that he's got that he brings to show. This year he brought something that is unparalleled, and I am excited, and I hope you are as well. Let me introduce you to Doug Henning's sister, Nancy Henning. Hello, Nancy.
Hello.
It's so good to see you. Now, you're from, I assume, Canada?
Yes, I live in Alberta, Canada.
And so you just came down for the convention, you're just kind of in and out?
Yeah, just in and out.
Now, I know that Chip has been in contact with you for a long time, and as I recall in talking to Chip originally, I'm sure there were a lot of people who were wanting to talk about Doug, and you were a little bit reluctant to saying, you want to protect him a little bit.
That's true. That's true. And not that many people have contacted me. I think most of them are looking for Debbie.
I'm looking for Debbie, okay, yeah. Is she still alive?
Yes, she is.
Okay, but she's kind of been hiding.
Yeah, she's a bit of a recluse.
A recluse?
Yeah, but she definitely lives a quiet life now, and she's quite happy, I think.
Now, you were like, would you say 3 years younger than Doug?
3 years younger. Yes.
And so as a little sister, did you work with him, play with him? I mean, from the standpoint of kind of messing with him a lot, when you're growing up?
Yeah. The story I told about practicing, definitely there. When
you tell that so that way people can hear it.
Oh, okay. He would practice when he got a new trick, and he'd stand in front of the mirror in his room and practice for hours and hours and hours, and then he needed an audience, so he used me as his test audience all the time, and he'd come out and show me his trick, and I'd say at the end, oh, I saw you do such and such, and so he'd go back and practice some more in front of the mirror, and then he'd come out and show me again, and whether I could see it or not, I mean, eventually I couldn't see what he was doing, but I still told him I could see it because I remembered what he was doing. And he'd eventually get really frustrated, and next thing you knew, whatever it was, rice bowls or Chinese sticks or whatever, would end up in his wastebasket. And then when my mother would clean his room, my mother would go through the wastebasket, take stuff out, put it back on his desk, and he'd be back practicing again. And eventually he came, and that's how he got so much better. And
just through all that practice.
all that practice.
Now, what year would that have been? About 11 years old, and you were about 8, I guess?
I don't know, but I wasn't very nice. I was mean to him. But, I'd say 10, 11, 12.
Did you just not like magic, or was it because he was your older brother that you were mean to him?
Oh, I was just being smart.
Okay. Of course you were. Of course.
Yeah, I remembered what he did, and so I told him I saw it. Yeah, really mean. So, but then I think that's how he became so much better, because
all that practice.
He did all that practice. Yeah.
Now, did you work with him ever? I mean, I assume he did like birthday parties and things. Were you his like lovely assistant? You know, my sister came and helped me.
Not at the beginning, but later on I was. If he did anything that was of any size, like he did some assemblies at school, and I'd help at that, and some bigger shows.
Did he get into big illusions fairly quickly, like in high school? I mean, like with the sub trunk and all that kind of stuff?
Well, in high school, he was doing a levitation, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, did he build this, or did he buy it, or did he have means to...
I don't think he physically built it himself, but he knew what he wanted, and he told someone else to put it together, because he couldn't weld and things like that. So.
Okay, but I know that it would be kind of expensive to buy some of this stuff, so he would get the plans and then give it to somebody in his wood shop or somebody, I guess.
Yeah, and you're right, it was expensive, and any money he made from doing any shows, he put right back in by buying more.
Right, right. And so you were the person who was levitated and put in the box and chopped and diced and everything.
Yep. And then once he was out of university and doing shows in places where they sold alcohol, I couldn't go in.
Oh, I never thought
because
about
the
that.
laws in Canada, you can't even go in the establishment.
Right.
And so that's when he got a real assistant, and she did it all. I only did one show after he and Mars got together, and that was when it was basically a audition for doing Spellbound, which was the Canadian precursor of his Broadway show.
Right.
And everybody was coming, all the important people that were coming to see him at this magic show, and Mars was sick and couldn't go, and so he had to quickly train me, and I made a new dress. I remember I was hemming it in the car on the way there, and the dress went off. The show went off perfectly.
Do you remember any of the names of assistants before Mars?
No. I think Mars was pretty much his first one.
After you?
Yeah. When he got into Spellbound, there was a gal named Maya who did a lot of work with him. I'm not sure whether he did outside shows, but I think they had a bit of a... I don't want to... I use the word relationship, meaning work relationship outside of Spellbound, too.
Yeah, not an attraction. I understand that. It's kind of a partnership type of a thing. Did he ever work with a guy? I mean, in doing like Siegfried and Roy, I mean, or somebody else as an assistant or as a male?
Not that I can think of. Okay. Not that I can think of. So
now, it had to be kind of surreal, and you alluded to this about how that you saw him in later life. It's like he was always on TV. It's like, that's my brother. You know, how was that?
Yeah, it's. I was definitely very proud of him, but it was very. weird. It was just it was just a weird.
Did it kind of make you a celebrity by relationship by
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't mind that notoriety. I mean, after we did shows at high school in the assembly and stuff, I didn't mind the notoriety. And,
Sure.
And it was always instilled in me that this is, if you tell people how it's done, they won't enjoy it.
True.
So I never did. I mean, I had boyfriends that sat on me and said, "Tell me how he did that. Tell me how he."
That's so funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's almost literally twist your arm, huh?
No.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You mum's the word, and you kept the secret.
Because then it's no fun.
Yeah, the brothers. Now, you were the only sibling, or did you have any brothers, sisters?
I have an older sister, so
Older than Doug, or
3 years older than Doug, and I'm 3 years younger than Doug.
Is she still here with us?
Yes.
Okay. And
Yeah.
she in Canada as well?
Yes, she's also in Calgary, actually.
Okay.
So yeah, we're the only two left in our family, basically. So immediate family.
Yeah. What was one of the more memorable shows that you had attended? I'm sure Doug said, gave you tickets all the time if you want to come see me on Broadway, or I'm going to be doing such and such. But what was some memory?
Yeah, I certainly saw some of his specials, the first one in particular. And I went to the opening of both Broadway shows, and I went to the closing of the magic show, and I went several times in the middle. So I saw that several times. What was the question?
I was saying, what was one of your favorite things in which it may have been one of those shows, or was there an experience in which perhaps at the show you might have met somebody, or you saw something, or you got to travel to some place, to L.A., or I don't care, wherever, London or whatever, and he said, hey, I want you to come and see the show. Was there a particular experience that was meaningful for you that kind of sticks out? It's like, this was, I think Doug was at his finest here, or I remember going to this show and meeting somebody, or I met the Queen, I don't know, whatever.
I think probably the most memorable show I saw was the last magic show on Broadway. I had seen it so many times that I knew it very well. And I could see when they were doing different things. And all of the cast fooled around in that last show.
Yeah.
And they did things to trick him. And it was really good to see that camaraderie.
And it was a musical too, as I recall.
Yes.
And dancing and everything as well. Did you like was it Spellbound? I think that or Merlin? Which was it? Was it both? Was Merlin?
Merlin was on Broadway, and Spellbound was in Toronto.
In Toronto.
Yeah.
How did you like those shows in comparison to the magic show? Or do you feel like that was just kind of a lead-in in a practice?
Well, Spellbound was just a dress rehearsal.
That's what I'm looking for. That's the word, right.
It was more a dress rehearsal, and I don't remember all that much about the story and the things that happened in Spellbound. Maybe because I only saw it once, whereas I saw the magic show several times. So I've already forgotten the question.
Well, I assume that your mother was
getting old.
Tell me about it also, lady, I tell you. I know, sister, I can appreciate. So was your mother, I assume, really proud as well?
She was.
Yeah.
She was. I think for the first year or two, she thought he'll get it out of his system and he'll go back to school.
No, that's funny.
Go back to school and become a doctor, because that's what he was going to do. And,
that's right. I forgot he was interested in medicine, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was interested in medicine. So I don't think it took that long for her to go over to the other side.
But then he was one of the first people to actually get a degree in magic. I guess he got the Canadian government to fund his schooling to learn magic.
Yeah. And that was really something. He worked really hard on that. He worked really hard on his career getting things going. It wasn't always easy. So
one last question, I'll let you go, and that is, has he always had long hair? I just was thinking, when you were talking about when you were children, and today kids have different length hair, girls have short hair, and boys have longer hair. And, of course, that was the thing back in the 60s, that were hippies with longer hair. Was that something that he always had longer hair, or did it kind of grow in as to fit the times?
Yeah, it grew in to fit the times. And he and I both had the same haircut probably for many, many, many years.
That's funny. And what
Up
about
until about 2 or 3 years ago. But if you look in Chip's display upstairs, he has a photograph album that starts out with pictures of Doug and Mars, and he had short hair there.
Oh, okay.
And pictures of when we were in high school, and he did a promotional picture of levitating me on the top of Oakville's only, and he had very short hair there. So.
And when did he actually start going with the really flamboyant, rainbow-colored costumes and things? Was that also about the time that his hair grew, and he in the '60s? I mean, was that was obviously a conscious decision for him to dress like that, and as opposed to tucks and tails that magicians had used for so long?
Yeah. He just wanted to do his own thing, and it fit his personality.
Boy, big time.
And
Sure did.
Yeah, and I know I used to accuse him of getting a perm because his hair was curly and my hair was bored straight, and
you were jealous of it.
I had to get a perm to get that same shag haircut. I had to have a perm, and so I think he started to grow his hair in Toronto.
Yeah, interesting. I did wonder whether it was an agent or someone who had kind of convinced him, hey, you ought to try this or something, but it was his own decision, I guess.
Oh, no, I think agents probably would have said, cut your hair and buy a suit.
Yeah. Well, Nancy, thank you very much. It's such a pleasure, a joy to meet you and hear some of these stories, and I know that you've got a lot more that you can share as well. And thank you for coming down and sharing the limelight over here with your brother that Chip is putting the spotlight on. So thank you very much.
You're very welcome. I love what he's doing in trying to keep his memory, Doug's memory, alive.
Yep, he is, and doing a great job at it. Nancy, thanks very much. So for the Magic Word Podcast, that was Nancy Henning. This is Scotty out. We just finished this morning's general session. As you heard, we just chatted with Doug Henning's sister, which was phenomenal. And I've got with me now someone who also has traipsed through history and knew Doug Henning well also. And he saw this morning's session. He's got the same orange lanyard as me, Mr. Wayne Allen. Hey, Wayne.
Hey, Scott. How are you?
Fantastic. Good to see you. So tell me, you did know Doug.
Yep. Met Doug in 1969. I was just 4 years old, but don't I wish?
Yeah.
But no, Doug and I Doug was about 3 or 4 years older than me, and we just happened to, end up in the same kind of young group of about maybe half a dozen of us, and it started a friendship that would last until he passed away. And it was one of the neat things was that when Doug became famous with the magic show, he was kind enough to invite me up to come to see the show, and I told him when I went backstage afterwards, I said, Doug, I said, I was sitting next to these two, New York socialite type ladies probably, with their jewels and their furs and very sophisticated, and I overheard the one lady saying to the others, she said, this young magician, Doug Henning, is going to be so amazing that he's going to be able to produce an elephant out of his sleeve and we won't even know how he did it. Mm-hmm. And they said it in all sincerity.
Yeah.
And I realized when I was hearing this, and I told Doug as much, this is unbelievable what's happening now. Well, of course, what did happen with Doug transforming magic, taking it up to the higher echelons of the art form that it needed to be up with, the rest of the...
and as you said, we wouldn't be here today, literally here at this convention.
This convention would not be probably in existence, certainly wouldn't bring him in 1,500 magicians paying $500 because magic would have never... Doug caught the wave because the wave was slowly building, but he certainly is the guy that really pushed the wave up and made the big thing.
So what do you think about the convention so far? Have you been having a good time? What's been a highlight for you?
I think it's great. I've been here. This is my fourth time through the years, and what I like, one of the things that I like that Stan does is he brings a lot of speakers and a lot of different people with esoteric, sort of different, unique ideas that I think are stimulating, makes you rethink the way you perform, how you address your audience. To the point I made a comment earlier to somebody, I said, these are such great ideas. I wish I was just 20 years younger so I could
Incorporate them, yeah.
incorporate it and make
Yeah.
it happen.
Yeah.
But and of course the other great thing is just like you and I have been friends for years, getting to socialize, and that's one of the things I also think that's wonderful about magic. I believe that magicians have a camaraderie unlike any other camaraderie. I mean, I play sports. I'm in a tennis club. I play golf. All kinds of different interests that I have, and business groups I belong to. But there is no group of people that have each other's backs, that go see each other and hang out with each other.
Good point.
Magicians, I think, have a real camaraderie.
They really do. Now, this morning we had an interesting session with a lot of different and diverse speakers that was hosted by Brian Curry, who I had on the podcast about a month ago or so. But anything that someone had spoken about that spoke to your heart today?
As far as talking about today's
session, yeah.
Yeah, some things did. I actually, believe it or not, when I say speaking to the heart, the costumer. It's funny.
Yes.
I made my living for 30 or 40 years as a corporate magician. So, Bud Dietrich, who was the guy that got me into trade shows, always said, always dress a little bit better than the best dressed person in the room.
Right.
So I always wore pretty expensive suits, Armani's, whatever, to look, very classy and first class. So that was my costume, if you would, for all those years. I actually don't like show business costumes. I don't like to go to Halloween parties in costumes.
Yeah.
I had a show in the mid-'80s called Bedazzled, which ran for 2 years, which was a big show that we had a professional costumer, and it was a themed show. It was a very neat show, had lots of costumes. I wore them. I wasn't thrilled with them. So, but she did speak to me because now I own another theater and I'm doing other shows there. But again, it's like, do I want to go to the trouble now of doing it? But I think so. She's convinced me. There's a couple routines I want to do that, like in the old days, Carol Fox, when Carol would MC a show, every time he came out to introduce a different act, he would have on a different,
different jacket.
tuxedo jacket or whatever, which I always liked. And so I'm going to maybe adopt a version of doing that. But so she spoke to me, and that wasn't a real esoteric kind of a thing, a very practical thing about making your show better and reaching out to your audience.
I thought it was interesting question that she posed, and that is, how many magicians here have spent dozens, if not hundreds of hours perfecting a routine and practicing and everything, and most everybody raised their hand. And how many have spent 1 hour or more working on your costuming?
Right. That's true. I'll tell you one of the biggest lessons I ever had. This theater I had in the mid-'80s, David Copperfield was kind enough to allow Don Wayne, who was his full-time advisor for like 16 years up to that point, to work with us on the show. Bev Bergeron worked on the show. Paul Osborne not only designed some of the illusions, but did the artwork, but also did some of the other stuff on the show. So it was a great show. We had a choreographer from New York. We had a costumer. We had a original music. All these stage sets built. It was a super show. We magicians are so used to doing everything.
Correct.
Having our wife sew whatever.
Instead of farming it out to someone who's professional.
And I'll tell you, that was one of the best lessons that ever happened to me, because I realized I could put together a much better professional. I came across much better as a magician, and my production was bigger. So when I went back after closing the theater, went back to doing corporate magic, I was not afraid to, at least offer to these companies bigger productions. And guess what? They were more thrilled. They almost wanted to spend more money.
Yeah.
So I learned a huge lesson, in doing that.
Yeah. Well, this has been really, I think, a good convention so far. A lot of diverse speakers. Right now, we're getting ready to hear Mike Pashada talk about secrets from behind the bar. Also, Bill Goodwin is doing another one over there on Bruce Servan. It's called For the Love of It. And also, Act First, Think Later with Drew Blackenstoss is going to be doing the other one. So, again, we have to choose 2 out of the 3. And I think I've kind of made my choice of what it is that I'm planning on attending. I want to see this, and I think I am going to go see the one with Bruce Servon. But anyhow, had a good day, and then tonight I'm going to go see the Experimental Theater. And you've already seen that. You said it was pretty good.
No, I saw the close up last night also,
which was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was very amazing. But now that's an example because it was kind of a themed show and it was a more artsy, presentation, which was a good show. It's not. I can't see me doing it necessarily because I don't think of myself as that kind of a performer, if you will.
Yeah.
But it was great to see it, and they did a really wonderful job. And some of the performers, I will tell you, a couple guys. The one gentleman, I forget his name. Was it Mr. Stone?
Tom Stone.
Tom Stone's sucker egg is beautiful.
Never seen anything like that.
No, that was just he knocked my socks off.
Yeah, that was
great.
That was a memorable trick.
Yeah.
Well, Wayne, thanks very much. Good chatting with you.
You're welcome.
And so the Magic Word Podcast, we're getting ready for this show to begin. That was Wayne Allen. This is Scotty out. We are now in the Houdini. We were in the Doug Henning exhibit. I equate Henning with Houdini, I guess, so easily that they're interchangeable because magic was changed by both of those gentlemen to different generations. And Chip Romero is the one who is the Houdini collector. He owns all of this great memorabilia that's here.
Houdini again.
Yeah. Did I say? I mean, yeah Henning material here. All this is the collectibles, and this is not something that he can do all by himself. So he's got a team of friends, very good friends, and one of whom is mine, and I've got him with me right now, and that's Mr. Lanny Kibby from Houston. Hey, Lanny.
Well, hello. How are you doing?
Fantastic, and you guys have done a great job, and you've been working for a couple of days and nights. I was just talking to John Collier and Caesar, and you guys, I guess, are like 2 or 3, 4 in the morning still working?
I'm on day 8, actually, because I started last Monday, and now it's what? A couple of days of packing it up in Louisiana, putting it in the truck, 2 days of driving, 2 13-hour days on the road. And then we got like half a day rest, and we started unloading, been moving it in from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, setting it up. And then Sunday the convention started. We've been blowing and going. There was just a couple of us that came from Louisiana. And then we met with more people, friends of Chip's, to help put it together on this end.
Right.
And literally, it's been there's over 150 lights that are lighting each individual
Is this all
thing.
his lighting, or did the hotel provide this? Or
Chip bought all the lighting, made the banners, the cutouts of Doug Henning, all of the stuff,
all the blow-ups and everything. It's amazing.
And we had to put together because they came. All the stuff was shipped here, the gold stanchions and the red ropes, and to make everything look, very professional. All was shipped directly here, and we've been assembling all of this from scratch. Display counters so that the memorabilia can go in display counters, and
I like the way that this is laid out. I assume this was all Chip's design from start to finish.
Drake, his friend Drake is a display person here in Las Vegas, and they collaborated heavily on that part of it. So designing it, knowing where to put it out, it's designed so each stage is a different one of Doug Henning's specials.
Starting with TV special number 1.
Yeah. So as you go around the room, you hit each special, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then the magic show. So. And a little bit of the Broadway special and stuff as well. So, and there's pictures that have never been seen before that are straight out of the books that he has of unpublished pictures. So some of these pictures have never been seen in public, never been published. They've only been put together for this show. You've never seen the picture of him. That's the water torture escape rehearsal. This is the fire, the levitation, fountain levitation with fire hoop. These pictures were taken from his rehearsals, and they've never been seen, by anybody.
Wow. And also you've got Nancy Henning here. I spoke with her earlier this afternoon, but for her to come here and people get a chance to visit with her, who is Doug's sister, and hear some firsthand stories, is pretty cool.
Oh yeah. It's so I've been. Somebody asked why did Doug quit, and he goes, "Do you know?" And she kind of was hesitant, and I said, "I know," and she goes, "Oh, let's hear your side of the story." And I was like, "Okay, stop me if anything I say is not true." And I listed out some of the reasons that he quit, and she goes, "Yeah, that's pretty much it." So I was glad that I didn't have a different side of the story to his sister, because she would know. You know?
Yeah, she can bust you on that.
Yeah.
Well,
she's having a blast because everybody's wanting her autograph on those posters and stuff.
I was going to say there are only a limited amount of posters, and that was kind of interesting that people who were coming through, those were original posters. That
they thought we had them reprinted for the show. Like, no, it was probably cheaper to give away the old ones, but in Scottsdale, we actually were selling those. And this time he said, no, let's just give them away. And I was like, okay, let's do it.
And so this was going to be open both tonight and tomorrow, so those who are coming tomorrow night, unfortunately, are going to miss
posters. Actually, and the first 75 through the door got a program as well, so they got one of the original Doug Henning programs.
Oh.
So they got a program and a poster for just those. Then those were gone, then the posters kept going. And well, he's extremely generous,
certainly in sharing his love for Doug Henning and all of this. And as I said, I just like the layout about how that you can follow his career and through his television specials and all this, and see how that he progressed. And I like that they have the actual videos that are excerpted from the TV shows that you can watch, and then has the actual outfits that was worn by him and Debbie and his assistants, and that's just incredible.
I mean, you can actually sit there with the Where Do the Ducks Go prop and watch them perform Where Do the Ducks Go with Bruce Jenner, and I don't know who the girl was on the TV special, but so a lot of people have been coming and going, well, there's the prop. How does it work? I've seen people watching the video over and over while looking at the prop going, I still don't know how it works.
I still don't get it. Yeah, that's funny.
And I've had people ask, so this part swivels, that part comes open, they're like fishing for clues,
And I'm watching over here the shadow box on this first special. It had Julie Newmar, pop out. I remember that she was in there, but
that is the costume that Catwoman wore right there. That costume is the one that Julie Newmar wore in the shadow box. Now the one that my assistant is wearing over there as she's handing out stuff coming through is the outfit that goes to the Miss May from the fourth special.
Okay.
And the original plan was to put her in there and have her just
Julie Newmar.
No, having my assistant Valerie was going to be in there in the display for hours at a time, and they were like, yeah, we can't really do that to you because you're going to be just sitting there, probably more comfortable than she is now, but she would have been sitting in the prop, waving at people as they go by for photo opportunities.
That's funny.
So we still might put her in there because she's in the outfit.
Yeah, until she gets tired.
Yeah.
Give it a
this
shot.
sub-trunk is not the one that Doug carried with him over. This was designed and built by the NBC prop department because it had to do a special thing. So his other sub-trunk wouldn't work for the thing that he had planned.
Is that a tip over too?
No, it just has an extra gimmick to it.
Okay.
And so, in order to facilitate that, he didn't want to destroy his tried and true sub-trunk. They took his sub-trunk, duplicated it, size and shape, and then added the extra gimmick. Yeah, NBC did. So that one was made for that special. So that's the very trunk that was there. But the only time he ever used that trunk was right there on that TV special.
Wow. Now, who are some of the other guys who are working that we should give credit to?
Well, John Carter, Caesar...
Trujillo.
Caesar, yeah. It always hangs on my tongue. I hate to mispronounce it, so he's Caesar.
Yeah.
And when I introduce him at my theater, which he performs at all the time, I just go, Caesar! And and that's the same way with several of the performers.
And then you, Lanny Kibby.
Yeah. And then Devin Drake and his wife, they have a production company here in Vegas. And who else? So there's been a lot of other people. They're listed in the program, but I don't have one with me. But
I think I do.
So let's read the ones. I forgot my glasses, but that'll tell us who I have missed.
There we go. Victoria.
Yeah, Valerie, that's my assistant. And Caesar, John Carter, John Chirac. Oh yeah, he helped some of the graphics and stuff, and the cutout things. He was cut those out of the background so that we could send them to have them printed and
on foam core board.
And also he designed the things there. The television
signage.
And then we got John Harrison.
Yeah. Okay. Good group of people.
And I was the one that said, okay, we need a playbill, because I have designed a playbill for my theater, and then I said, don't just print up a brochure, let's do a playbill. I have a Doug Henning playbill, and I was gonna, and he goes, well, I don't want to just copy that. Let's do. So we got the licensing from Playbill, and then once you get the licensing, then you can pretty much design away, and so he got a graphics artist in Lake Charles actually to do all of this, and so it turned out just gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Even when Stan Allen, running on the convention, looked at it, he goes, "This is really first class."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yes, it is."
Do you expect anything less?
Yeah. And so, Stan was been pretty happy with it.
Well, Lanny, thanks very much. I appreciate the kind of background on this. I said I didn't want to bother Chip because he's surrounded by people. There's no way I could get the attention over there. And plus, his mind is elsewhere.
Pins and needles all week, not knowing if we're one power outage away from. We were plugging so much stuff in. There's over 100 lighting fixtures. You could have easily blown a breaker, and they go, guess what? You don't get to light it the way you want it. So a lot of things could go wrong, and we've had things go wrong, but we worked out all the things.
It looks great.
I forget it's about Saturday morning. I was over at the hardware store getting stuff, and they go, "What are you doing over there?" Because I had the name tag on, and I said, "Well, actually, what I do is put out fires, because whenever something catches fire." I have to fix it, And they're like, "Is that why you're here at the hardware store?" I said, "Absolutely. We had to figure out a different way to hang the banners than we had originally planned. The original method wasn't going to work. Only till they tried to find it that it was like, that's not going to work." And so I had to go and find the right hardware that we could make those banners work. And
so you got the backdrop curtains, and then kind of attached to the curtains, because it's kind of a black box theater. Is what you created in here.
Yeah.
And this is phenomenal.
The problem is there's only so many ways you can hook a thing to the top of a pipe and drape system without damaging the drape or damaging the banners. And so, so we had to figure out a new way.
Looks like there's the rest of the crew over there. There's Caesar and John.
Oh, John
Chirac as
showed
well.
up, Yep. John's been instrumental and in the print work and all this kind of stuff, and hopped in whenever we needed him, So it's really been a team effort, and but it wouldn't happen without Chip. It's all, of
course.
It's Chip's collection. It's Chip's brainchild. And that was the thing. When Chip didn't want to do it at first, and then when I said, "Well, I'll drive it if you want me to," and he called Stan like that day. "I got my driver. Let's do it."
That's great. That's the big part of it.
Yeah.
That I just want to say hello to Chip real quickly. I got him. Thank you, Lanny.
Kidding me? I'm not
Chip,
kidding you. That is the concession.
Thanks very much, man. I've just talked to Lanny. No, that's I just saying thank you, man.
Come back. No, I want to do it with you. We'll later we'll close the room and I'll do it with you.
Okay.
You got it.
Well, there's Chip. Kind of hear a little bit from him on that then right now. So we'll be chatting with him at some point then too. And I just wanted to again thank you, Lanny, very much for giving us all the details over there.
My pleasure. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Now that all the work's done, we're just getting to
kind of enjoy and take a breath. Yeah. That's right. So, over the Magic Word Podcast, that was Lanny Kibby and a little bit of Chip Romero. Scotty out.